So yeah, like this is like a month or two before I'm actually supposed to give birth to our third daughter. So like I said, she ended up not wanting to talk. Told her about herself, but she ends up messaging me, and I'll get into that when I get to that part. But I don't see the message until like a couple of months later. And then mind you, he's telling me around this time he's not talking to Tay no more. He's not him and just Judy's are just friends now, blase swaze, all this other stuff. So when he comes over, it's basically like to either watch the kids and you know, spend time with me and the children too. That's why I say, like, pay attention to the signs, especially with people when you know they don't love themselves. And I know a lot of the details are like so unnecessary, but it shows you, like, you can tell, like, I didn't love myself. Like, it wasn't enough for at them part of my life where my kids wasn't enough, but because I knew how good I made it for my children, like, I knew not even my family could provide what I did for them, because I put them first a lot of times. Not, and I know it may seem like how you ready to take your life over a man and you have children, but a lot of people mental state, like, that whole point of you trying to find love outside of yourself is so critical within a relationship, because that's why your mind, in my aspect, this is coming from somebody who's been in this situation and, you know, actually is in love with herself now. Like, coming from a person who, like, didn't love herself in a lot of them situation, it just shows a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I know people probably like, how can you know, sit there and want to take over a man? And it's not even that, to not have enough self-worth to think I'm worthy of life to even be here for my children, in a sense, because the only thing that kept me here and not wanting to actually go through it a lot of times was because I didn't want my children going into foster care, because I've heard, like, the stories, and I didn't want that for my children. My mom's older, and for her to try to take care of, like, 4 kids by herself and try to provide for them what I provide for them, I knew it was not gonna work. You know, like, she's old. At that time, she was still older. Like, I knew she couldn't do it by herself. And then I didn't want my children to be separated, because once again, they have different fathers. So, and I already knew that, especially the second one, their family only cared about money. So they would only take my children just for money. So I didn't want them to be separated. 2, I didn't want them going to a family that didn't, because I knew his mom really didn't raise him and his sisters. Like, you were on drugs the whole time, so you don't even know. Look at how all your kids turned out. They're all stabbing each other in the back. You got a son that really is looking for a family within every female that he's encountered. And then again, he's a crack baby, so of course he's gonna have issues. So I know you was not gonna raise my children the way, because look at yours. You know what I'm saying? So that was my whole aspect of, like, okay, I'm gonna just wait till they get older, I'm gonna just wait till they get older, I'm gonna just wait till they get older type thing. So that was the whole aspect of that, of really going through that, because I went through that whole situation until like 2015, 15, 16, 17, I went through that. So self-love is very important. So getting back to the so a couple of months before I go to have our daughter, mind you, he's saying he's not messing with them no more. Him and Judy are just friends. And there was one particular employee that only worked the weekend because she had another job during the weekday where she worked for the school. So she comes to me, and she's one of them type of females, like older women that just, she's not holding her tongue for nobody. Like, she don't care, young, old, whatever, she's not holding her tongue for nobody. And I appreciate her and my manager at the group home, because there's not a lot of females out there like that. And I always see myself like that. Like, if I know, but I've always, that's why when females start acting funny with me, and especially when they're dudes and stuff like that, certain interests or whatever, I just back off. I won't say nothing, because I'm always the blame. I'm always the blame. And I never could understand that. If I'm telling you, like, yo, your man is trying to talk to me, or if I'm seeing some weird shady shit going on and I'm telling you about it, you blame me. Oh, you ain't got to worry about me saying nothing to you no more. I just take myself out of the picture. So when shit hits the fan, it won't be, oh, I see my husband and my man doing this, and I tried to tell you that he did it to me, and I was to blame for it. So so that's why I appreciate them two ladies in this story, because they told me what was up. So mind you, he's telling me he don't talk to Judy. He's not, they're just friends, right? So she comes to me and she was like, hey, do you know such and such? And I'm like, yeah, that's, you know, my baby daddy's little sister. And this is why I hate when people use baby daddy and baby mama, even though they still together, because it just confuses everybody. So she was like, oh, because when she first asked me about her, I'm like, yeah, that's my baby daddy's little sister or whatever. She was like, oh, she works at the school or whatever, and a lot of people don't like her. A lot of people are saying that she two-faced it, and you know, I don't play that. And I was like, yeah, you know, Miss J, I understand that or whatever. I was like, that's how she is. Like, personally, like, I really don't trust her 100% like that anyways, because she's like the American version of Gilan. Like, she'll just tell you stuff and tell everybody else's business. And sometimes I don't think she means to do that, but I think she does it to just fit in or whatever. So the next time I bump into her, she was like, oh, everybody was laughing at your sister-in-law. I said, sister-in-law? Like that. She was like, oh, yeah. She's like, you do hair? I was like, no, I don't do hair. I do my daughter's hair. Like, that's the only hair I do. But no, I don't do hair. Well, she was like, whoever your sister-in-law is going around telling everybody at the job, because everybody's laughing behind her back, because whoever did her hair really didn't do a good job on her hair, and she thinking like her hair the bomb, and everybody in the cafeteria or wherever, I think it was the cafeteria, is talking about her. She said, and so I asked her who did her hair. She was like, oh, my brother's girlfriend. And she was like, so how many brothers does she have? Because we only know about one. I was like, yeah, she only have one brother. She was like,
on St. Joseph Parkway toward Caroline Street, then turn left onto Caroline Street.
So she's like, so who's this girl? She's like, but you don't do no hair. So who is she claiming as, whoever your sister-in-law is claiming as his girlfriend? That's what she's saying. So you better check that or something like that. So I was like, what? So I already automatically knew it was Judy, because remember, she told me that's how they know each other is from Judy doing her hair.